So this video is going to look at how to find zeros and maximums and minimums on a graph. So this is again going to be in the calculate menu. I've already done a video on where that is, the second trace button. So the y that I'm going to use is this x squared plus 6x minus 8. Alright, so if you hit graph, you can see the graph, and I've changed my window to go down to negative 20. So if you want to change that, I'm using x is negative 10 to 10 and y is negative 20 to 10. Alright, so let me go back to the function. Okay, so I'll hit graph, and let's say I want to find these zeros right here. So remember, these are the x-intercepts, or where my function is 0. So I can go to the second trace, or second calculate, and this number 2 right here is the 0. So if I hit enter on 0, it'll ask me 3 questions. The first is the left bound. This is some number to the left of where you think that 0 is. So our 0 appears to be right around here. We need some number to the left. Any number to the left will do. Alright, so I'll just hit enter right there. And I'll put a little arrow above that x value. Now it asks for a right bound. So go to the right of that 0. Okay, again, some x to the right of that. Let's hit enter. Okay, it puts another arrow right there. Let me move this so you can see it. So this is the interval that it's going to be looking on for that 0. It's right between those arrows. The guess, you can really put anything in between those. Normally I just hit enter afterwards. So just hit enter, and there it is, 1.123, so on and so forth. This would be the same as if I use the quadratic formula on this guy to try to find it. So it's some number involving a root. I don't know exactly what it is unless I go through the quadratic formula or completing the square or something like that, but the decimal value is going to be this 1.123 plus some other stuff there. We want to find the other 0, this negative 1 down here. Then we can go ahead and do the same thing, but we'll just change that interval. So if I go to second and then calculate, and then 0, hit enter. Now the left bound needs to be the left of that far 0. So you can scroll over. If you know, you can type in a number. That would also work. I'll just go ahead and scroll over here. Somewhere to the left of this 0. So that looks left. So I'll hit enter. And then somewhere to the right of that, that looks like it's to the right of it. So I'll hit enter again. Okay. Again, that 0 should be between those 2 arrows right there. Guess, I can just hit enter, and then there it is, negative 7.123. Okay, same thing. In case you don't see a y equals 0 over here, negative 1, e, negative 12, this capital E means times 10 to the number that comes next. So negative 1 times 10 to the negative 12 is really 0.00000 with 12 zeros followed by it, and then that 1, so negative in this case. So negative 0.000, 12 zeros, and then a 1. So really this is just due to calculator round off error. This is supposed to be a 0 that's right there, okay, because this got approximated and chunked off. This one may be slightly off, but it should be really close to 0. Okay, so in case you see anything that looks like that, just take those as equal to 0. One thing that's pretty similar is going to be finding maxes and mins as well. So this one has a minimum right here. If we go to the calculate menu, we'll see that number 3 and 4 are minimum and maximum. So let's go ahead and try to find a minimum. Hit enter, and it'll ask me the same questions: left bound, right bound, and guess. So left bound, some number left of the minimum, so I'll hit enter. Right bound, some number to the right of the minimum. Alright, so I'll hit enter again right there. And then our guess, okay, again, I don't have to be that close. I can just use where my bound was, hit enter, and then there it is, negative 3, negative 17. Okay. This should make sense with our other formulas. So the negative b over 2a should be the x. Plugging that in should give me the y. So this vertex right here is always going to be at this minimum or maximum. Anytime I'm looking for a min or a max, it's always going to be at the vertex. So depending on your equation, you may be able to find that, or you may have to use the negative b over 2a type of thing, or you can use the calculator just as I've shown you here.